Hi everyone, I just finished teaching a beginner a piano lesson here in Cancun. And yes, with one-on-one piano, you really can teach a piano lesson from just about anywhere in the world. And I wanted to go over some of those basic concepts, just a few that I would normally go over with a student in just the first couple lessons. And hopefully some of you beginners out there find some of this helpful. So I'll skip some of the parts that cover the note names and things like that. I'm assuming that a lot of you already know what C is, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. But what you might not know is that in the C major scale and in all other major scales, there's a specific pattern of half steps, which is that kind of interval, one note and the note right next to it, and whole steps, which is two half steps. That's a whole step, another whole step, another whole step. So the pattern of whole and half steps in a major scale is always the same. It's whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. If we were to go to a different key, the same pattern would work. Starting on D, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And so that pattern leads us through the different scale degrees of each major scale. And what a scale degree is the number that's attached to that note in the scale. So for example, in C, C would be the first scale degree, D would be the second scale degree, E, third, fourth, F, fifth, G, sixth, A, seventh, B, and back to 1. And we're moving really quickly here. This is a bit quicker than I'd usually move with a beginner student, but for the purposes of making this video short, I will start to build triads on each of these scale degrees. So if we build a triad, which is 3 notes with a scale degree skipped in between each note, skip, skip, that is a triad built on C. This is the C major triad, or the root triad of C, or the tonic triad of C. There are a few different names for it. And if we build triads in all the other different scale degrees, we get the chords of C major. There's C, built on the first scale degree. There's D minor, or the minor 2, built on the second scale degree. The second scale degree triad is always minor. Third, that's E minor, or the minor 3. The triad built on the third scale degree is also always minor. F major, or the 4. G major, the 5, or the dominant triad. A minor, the minor 6. And this is B diminished. We don't typically use diminished chords a lot in pop music or worship or anything like that. But it's helpful to know that it's there. So let's focus on the 1 through 6th scale degrees and the triads built on those. And let's see if we can play a song with them. I usually like to use the song Hallelujah early on because it literally in the lyrics of the song points out the triads that are used in the chord progression. And this is the part in the song where that happens. It goes like this: the 4th, the 5th, the minor fall, and the major lift. So you see it goes the 4th, the 5th, the minor fall, referring to A minor or the minor 6th, and then the major lift. We lift back into major. And that's a pattern that you often see in many, 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 many different songs, is we create tension with minor chords flowing to major, end up on the 5 or the dominant, and then resolve back into C. So if I were going to make up a chord progression, then I could build up tension using some minor chords. And we've lifted to the major 5, which then resolves very satisfyingly to the tonic, or 1, or first scale degree, or C major triad. And so those are the major and minor patterns that you can use and apply to many different songs. And the magic of using numbers instead of referring to each triad by its note name, like C, 1, 4, 5, 6, is that we can then take that to any other major scale and play a song like Hallelujah in any other key, maybe even a key that's a bit better for my vocal range, like A. It goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift. And so very easily, just by knowing the scale degrees, and if I also know the notes of the scale, I can easily transpose one song to another key by knowing the numbers of the chord progression. And so that's a very basic theory and beginner lesson for you. I hope that some of you find that helpful, and I hope that some of you also find it helpful to know that you can take or teach a piano lesson from just about anywhere very easily with one-on-one piano, and record even beautiful tutorials using the intuitive interface and layout that we've built here. Have a great day.